For weeks, astronomers had been waiting for new observations of the mysterious interstellar object 3I, Atlas. While Earth-based telescopes struggled with the object's position near the Sun, one spacecraft had a different perspective: China's Tianwen-1, orbiting Mars. The idea of Mars becoming the unexpected witness to an interstellar visitor sounds almost cinematic. But according to the source material, Tianwen-1 was able to observe the object during a period when many Earth-based instruments had limited visibility. What makes the reported observations so intriguing is the behavior attributed to 3I, Atlas. Instead of showing the kind of dramatic fragmentation expected from an active comet approaching the Sun, the object appeared stable while developing a large, organized coma and prominent jets. Its brightness also seemed to change in a repeating pattern rather than fluctuating randomly. The source describes ultraviolet measurements that appeared unusually strong for an object of its estimated size. Researchers were left with a strange contrast. The object seemed to release enormous amounts of energy, yet its visible structure remained remarkably coherent. Then came an even more unusual detail. The dust surrounding 3I, Atlas reportedly developed a large plume extending millions of kilometers. Rather than looking completely chaotic, some of its features appeared concentrated and organized. The question was no longer simply how much material the object was releasing, but what mechanism could produce such a pattern. Another reported anomaly involved its brightness. The object appeared to brighten without showing the fragmentation that traditional comet models might predict under intense solar heating. That created a puzzling combination. The object seemed to display the energy behavior of something highly active while maintaining the structural appearance of something that had not broken apart. The source also describes a darker feature within the surrounding coma, appearing repeatedly in different observations. Whether that represented a density variation, a shadow, an imaging effect, or something more complicated remained uncertain. Then came perhaps the strangest reported observation: a change in brightness on the side facing away from the Sun. Normally, sunlight-driven activity should be strongest on the heated side. Yet the reported data suggested unusual illumination or emission from the colder hemisphere. The source describes this as a possible photometric inversion, raising questions about what was actually causing the change. None of this automatically means 3I, Atlas is artificial, engineered, or extraterrestrial technology. Strange observations do not immediately overturn known physics. They can result from incomplete data, unusual natural processes, viewing geometry, or effects scientists do not yet understand. But that uncertainty is precisely what makes the object fascinating. If the reported measurements are confirmed, they could force astronomers to refine their models of how interstellar objects behave when they enter the environment of another star. And there is another remarkable part of the story: the perspective. Earth has traditionally been humanity's primary window into deep space. But in this scenario, a spacecraft operating near another planet may have captured observations that Earth could not easily obtain. That changes the picture. Instead of relying on a single viewpoint, scientists can compare observations from different locations across the solar system. Multiple perspectives can reveal details that remain hidden when an object is viewed from only one direction. The real mystery, then, is not whether 3I, Atlas is an alien spacecraft. There is no confirmed evidence of that in the source material. The real mystery is whether this object is behaving exactly as our current models predict. Because if it is not, scientists have an opportunity to learn something far more valuable than a sensational answer. They may be seeing a completely natural interstellar body with properties unlike anything previously observed. Or they may discover that some of our assumptions about these ancient travelers were simply incomplete. For now, 3I, Atlas remains an enigma moving through our cosmic neighborhood, carrying information from a place far beyond our solar system. And perhaps the most exciting possibility is not that it is artificial, but that nature itself has produced something far stranger than we expected. The deeper scientists look into the strange observations surrounding 3I, Atlas, the more complicated the picture becomes. One of the biggest questions is its movement. Interstellar objects enter our solar system at extraordinary speeds, traveling on paths that distinguish them from ordinary comets and asteroids born here. That makes every measurement important. Even a small change in brightness, dust production, or apparent motion can reveal something about the object's physical structure. And that is why the reported observations from Mars are so interesting. A spacecraft positioned away from Earth can view the same object from a completely different angle. Features that appear confusing from one location may become much easier to interpret from another. The coma is especially important. A comet's surrounding cloud of dust and gas is constantly changing as sunlight heats its surface. Jets can appear, disappear, strengthen, or shift direction. Normally, scientists can use these changes to estimate the rotation of the nucleus and understand how material is escaping. But according to the source material, some of the activity associated with 3I, ATLAS appeared unusually organized. That does not prove anything extraordinary. Nature is capable of producing remarkably complicated structures. Uneven surfaces, rotating nuclei, pockets of volatile material, and changing solar illumination can all create effects that look surprising. Still, the unusual behavior gives researchers a reason to keep watching. Another major mystery is what lies beneath the visible cloud. From Earth, the coma can hide much of the nucleus itself. It is like trying to determine the shape of a rock while looking at it through a constantly moving cloud of dust. Mars offered another opportunity to separate those layers. If future observations can measure the brightness changes more precisely, researchers may be able to determine whether the unusual patterns are connected to rotation, surface activity, or something deeper inside the object. And that is where the story becomes even more exciting. The most valuable discovery may not be a spectacular image at all. It could be a tiny measurement that explains why the object behaves the way it does. A change in brightness. A shift in a jet. A variation in gas production. A difference between observations from Earth and Mars. Each detail can help scientists reconstruct the history of a visitor that formed around another star long before humanity existed. 3I, ATLAS may eventually turn out to be completely natural. It may be an unusual comet unlike anything previously studied, shaped by conditions that simply do not exist in our solar system. But until the observations are fully analyzed, the mystery remains. The object is passing through our neighborhood only once, carrying clues from a distant stellar system across unimaginable distances. And every new observation brings humanity one step closer to answering the question that matters most. What exactly did another star system send into our solar system? The answer may be hiding inside the dust, the jets, and the faint variations of light surrounding this extraordinary traveler. And the next observation could reveal it.